Hey guys, how are we today? Alright, so I got kind of like a story time thing for you guys. So, I have friends. With doing Lyft, I'm pretty much all over the place, and I make friends with some of the riders because I see them on a regular basis. Because of the schedule that I work, and you just pick up the same people all the time. So I became friends with this one person, and I was out and about, and I had been working for a while, and this person had texted me and was like, hey, the celebrity is at my establishment. And I was like, you know what? I gotta use the restroom. Cool, whatever the case may be. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a break. And I did. And I went to this establishment, and I was like, met up with the person, got a Sprite, because at this point I'm like thirsty as shit. And I was like, what's the word? What's going on? So she's like, oh, it's, been around, just walking, chilling. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go use the restroom. So I go and use, I go find my way to the restroom, and I spot the celebrity, aka Zach Bagans. So I walk up, and I'm like, but before I get into this, now, all of you guys know, I've actually, I've been on Ghost Adventures. The last one that he aired, like, I think it was two episodes before that, which was the Whiskey Pete's episode, season 29, episode 4. That's my episode, Whiskey Pete's. And I watched the episode, and I was really impressed with how he did the interview. And I was actually like, oh my God, this is my opportunity to thank him. This is awesome. I get to, thank him for how he did my interview. You would think, right? So now I'm going to get back into it. Now I walk up to him. Now he's at a dealer's table, and I get it. When you're, gambling, you don't want to be bothered. But at this moment, I'm actually not as nervous to be in front of him anymore. And I was like, hey, Zach. And he goes, and he was like, I was like, hey, Zach. And he goes, hi. The fuck? Like, bro, you weren't even winning. Like, your shit wasn't even that serious. Now, if he was in a tournament, I wouldn't have said a fucking thing. But you were at a dealer's table, and you weren't even, and the thing about it is, the person that he was with actually looked at me and smiled and said, hey, what's going on? Now, my first experience with him was at the museum, and he was really nice, and I was there to thank him, for bringing all of us into the paranormal and letting us know that we weren't crazy, all right? Because, as you're growing up as a kid, people are like, you're crazy for what you can see. You're crazy for this. You're crazy for that. You're crazy for this. And it's like, oh, so you've had to, suppress your craziness to the side for so long, and then this person comes out with the show, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not fucking crazy, and I haven't, I'm not crazy. So when you finally meet the person that actually, brings everything to light, it's like, oh my God, oh, type situation. So the second interaction that I had with him was at the first place that we filmed, which I still can't put that out yet because it hasn't been aired. The third time my interaction with him was at Whiskey Pete's, and that was aired, so I can talk about that one. But even then, I don't know if it was the casino. What the fuck? I don't know if it was the casino or if it was just who he was as a person, but his energy was off then. And it was like, whatever the case may be. Now, I am driving, yes, so if you guys want to run your mouth about it, go ahead, but I know how to drive safely and interact with my phone. Because of the simple fact it's called ADHD. I have certain things that have to keep me focused. Anyways, so, I'm thinking, all right, cool, I'm going to go in here and say thank you to this guy. And this is how you treat people? Someone had good intentions to say thank you for how you sit here and do their interview, and that's how you treat them? Like, you don't even know why I was even there to begin with. I just, I had to use the restroom, and I happened to hear that you were there. And I was going in with good intentions to say thank you for how you did my interview. And that's how you treat people away from your cameras, away from your fucking people, away from your crew. That's how you treat people out in the public? Wow. It's, to me, I don't give a fuck who you are as an individual. Whether you are a celebrity, whether you are poor, whether you are the richest person, whether you are the poorest person, whether you are a homeless person, I still treat people with respect. I still treat people as they are humans. I'm not a fucking robot. And I'm not going to act like a robot just because you have to. That's not me. And I don't give a fuck what was going on in his life. It's not a me problem. That's not a me problem. That's a him problem. And people don't understand how you act towards people. It does affect them. It does put them in a different energy. And it's like, wow, this is what I got so excited for. To go to somewhere to hear that this person's there, and this is what I get excited for? To get turned around and get treated like shit? Oh, because I'm not a blonde with big boobs? The fuck? Seriously? Seriously. Do better, Zach Bagans, as a human being. Do fucking better.